What's up, y'all? It's your faithful. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is having. I know some people are gonna feel legendary that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl or lost the Super Bowl. Honestly, I'm one of those people, y'all. Like, was it cool? I mean, I don't know. Like, it didn't make sure that we won a championship. So, do I feel better? No, not really. I'm still heartbroken from what happened 2 years ago and fucking in 2019. So did it change the fact we lost those two Super Bowls? No. So I mean, congratulations. I tip my hat to Eagles fans. Congratulations, won a championship. Um, you know, now if y'all want to start talking shit and everything like that, I would say do it 3 more times, then come talk to me, Junior. But still, congratulations. I'm actually part of what we're going to discuss a little bit on today's show is how the Niners could be this year's Eagles. I'm pretty sure all throughout this offseason, you're going to hear those over and over again. But we got Jason waiting in the obviously can't bury the lead. Y'all saw the description, the title of the show. Deebo asked for a trade. We're going to go ahead and get to that and see what exactly a trade of Deebo Samuel looks like. But before we do all that, of course, got to give a shout out to our new sponsor, Goat Fuel. Make sure to use our link that is in the 10% off of all your Goat Fuel purchases, as well as help out the show. I would be drinking one right now, but your boy ran out. And so I have to go get some more from Safeway tomorrow. But you're going to be drinking a lot more Goat Fuel on the show and everything like that. Big shout out to Goat Fuel. Please go out and not only support a black business and support the business of the goat. Like, ladies, we're talking about Jerry Rice, Niner Mount Rushmore, Bill and Joe. All right. So go support one of our Mount Rushmore members. All right, Joe. Well, we're going to go ahead, pay some bills, and then we're going to get the show cracking like booty smacking. Today's episode is sponsored by Power Brand Systems. Need help getting new customers for your business? Let Power Brand Systems help you grow with their powerful tools. Visit powerbrandsystems.com/Niner Faithful Radio for more info. If you like our content and would like to support the show, consider leaving us a tip in our tip jar at ninerfaithfulradio.us/tip jar. Join our exclusive membership community where you get exclusive NFR content not available anywhere else. Join our exclusive chat, 20% off of all non-sale For the Faithful by the Faithful gear, and much more. Visit portal.ninerfaithfulradio.us/login to join. For the Faithful by the Faithful Season 4 apparel is finally here. To see this year's designs and also save 20% off of Season 1 through 3 designs, go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner. All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
Niner Faithful Radio, the show hosted for the faithful, by the faithful, brought to you by Power Brand Systems.
What's cracking, Jason?
How's everybody doing?
Another day, another 50 cents.
More than me.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, I think it might be a little bit more. I think some of my dividends paid me this. You know, I made like $1.27 today or something like that. So I guess so. Here we thought, it just every week I come on this show, Jason. Ever since probably the week after the Tuesday after the season ended, and I come on and we don't know what we're gonna talk about, and we'll figure it out, and then I come up with these ideas, and then some shit happens to completely throw it out.
It's
So much for a
it's as the world turns, man. I mean, this is nothing. Honestly, at this point, I mean, if Deebo was here for another 10 years for whatever reason, we can expect this for 10 more years, kind of a thing. I mean, at this point, this is on the calendar every year about this time. Deebo asking for a trade of some sort. What up, Ferry? What's up, my dude, Mr. Tommy?
very numero uno in the building.
So you shouldn't be surprised.
See, am I surprised? Kinda. I'm surprised it went public because do I think this is the first time Deebo? Let's be real. Let's still go back to 2021. Or I'm sorry, 2022. Niners and Deebo are in the contract extension, or in negotiation for a contract extension. He talked a whole lot of shit about how he didn't want to live in San Jose. We are not a nightlife city. If you're the type of person that likes to go to the club and enjoy the nightlife and all that, we are not the city for you. We got some clubs, like we have the bar that we got more bars than I would say clubs. There used to be a lot more clubs before the pandemic.
I'm more of a bar person anyway, so I'm good with that.
Yeah. Most of the bar we went to, the dive bar, it's literally that's the name of it. Or I think they might have changed the name of it now, but it used to be called
that's
the dive
my
bar.
kind of bar, though. To be honest with you, just kind of low key, kick back kind of thing. That's the kind of bars I like.
That's how most of our bars are. Like, I mean, sure, some bars are rowdier than others, and on a given night, any bar could be pretty rowdy.
Yeah.
On any given night, any bar could be rowdy. Depending on the people and how drunk people are. And it wasn't super crowded. Anyway, so we're not a nightlife city. Apparently, Deebo likes the nightlife. I don't know why the fuck he moved to Morgan Hill, because Morgan Hill's the suburbs. It's the fucking boonies. Morgan Hill is basically where people
I don't know. Couldn't he just go to an actual Frisco for nightlife or Oakland?
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's about a 40-minute drive to Frisco.
He's rich enough. He ain't got to drive that. Get somebody else to fucking drive him.
I mean, let's be real. Act like the nigga can't get an Uber. Caltrain will drop you off right in downtown Frisco, right by AT&T.
We know he's not taking the train.
I'm just saying.
We know taking the train. Although, you know what? I could see Deebo being the person who, like, during the middle of the day who would do it, but I don't. But Deebo's not taking one, after the night of the club.
Well, okay. So truthfully, when I met, what's up, Crazy Juice? Good to see you, bro.
Crazy, what's up, my dude? Thank you.
And I met Keena Turner, but when I bumped into Keena Turner, Dwight Hicks, and Eric Wright before the Letters to 87 book signing, it was coming off the Caltrain. They took the Caltrain up there. Now, mind you, let's be real. Like, what, they hadn't played in probably close to 40 years, and everything like that. So,
what's up, Falua? How's it moves?
I
will not say it. I won't say it.
Yeah. We'll get into I was with Jason, bruh. I was hoping Bane would fucking come in and do a terrorist attack or something. They would cancel the Super Bowl. Anyway, I met him on the Caltrain. So anyway, regardless, I get your point, Jason. Like, for real, nigga, you can get limo service, whatever.
California, you don't have to go far for nightlife. I mean, shit, if I can go down to LA, get a hotel in LA or some shit if you want to do that for the week.
LA's, yeah, if you're going to do a week trip, LA's a little far just for, I'm going to the club tonight.
But he's also rich. He lives on a level we
honestly
can't afford.
Could fly. Honestly,
that's what
could
I'm saying.
fly. Yeah.
Take a little quick plane down to LA, up to Vegas, maybe even San Diego. I'm not sure how the nightlife is up in San Diego, but I mean,
I heard it's cracking.
You're in California, you have options, and you're rich enough to where entertaining yourself at night should not be a fucking issue.
I mean, the thing that's always gotten me, and I know strip club culture is real big in the South and everything like that, and things of that nature. But to me, I don't understand. Nigga, you are from South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck are you talking about? You don't want to live in San Jose, California. Look, like I said, we are not a nightlife city. We're not. We're not a party city, things of that nature. That's not what San Jose is. But, I mean, what the fuck? I don't even know where he's from in South Carolina. But I highly doubt they just got the most incredible fucking nightlife.
Yeah, what city is the University of South Carolina in?
It's in
Columbus,
I believe. Or no, I believe it's Columbus or Charleston. Isn't Clemson in Charleston?
I'm not sure. It's okay. It's in Columbia, which
Columbia. I said Columbia.
Columbia's probably not. Columbia's probably not a college town. City.
Well, it's a college town.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, in general, it's not like you're not thinking Columbus for like a big party area in general. Yes, it's a college town, but yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's whatever. Maybe if you were worried less on the strip club, and I'm not saying that Deebo goes to the strip club or whatever. I'm of the personal opinion. During the off season, I give two shits what you do, bro. Go enjoy your life. Go enjoy being young, black, and rich. You know what I'm saying? Go enjoy the things that I'm pretty sure if I was 21, 22, 23, 24 years old, had that type of money, grew up in that type of atmosphere of being a superstar athlete your whole life and, all that type of shit. What's cracking, David?
What's up, Mr. McNiner? How's it, my brother?
Hold on. I got it right here. Are you going to play? Are you going to play?
Same old sorry ass.
There we go.
So,
fine, whatever. So I'm of the opinion that I don't give a shit. Now, in the off season, look, I know that this is one of those things that if we had won the Super Bowl, nobody talks about. But, the defense showing up slow and a little bit late in the Super Bowl, that probably had something to do with all the fucking Niners you've seen at the strip club in New Orleans before Super Bowl 47. And I always think that personally, I don't think that personally, I'm not going to blame individual people. I think that was the culture the Niners just simply had back then. Let's be real. We weren't Boy Scouts. Those Niners aren't Boy Scouts, bro. Remember that. Imagine doing a pod during, the Harbaugh era.
I've been nuts.
When you literally every day you got somebody getting arrested. You got fucking Bruce Miller punching out old people. God, it was fucking crazy. That's what we're gonna get to and everything like that. Okay, I mean that's fine. I understand what they're going through and everything like that, and I won't use that whole I got what you're saying, Sully. I got what you're saying, my ooze. I was tripping for a second why I said Reebok, but I got what you're saying.
It took me a second. I was like,
so
what? No.
That reminds me. So there's this. Anyway, never mind. I'll tell that joke off here. Might offend some people. But so I think that was just the culture back then. Now, do I think what's not so fine? I had said on the show before I thought something sticky was I had said I thought something sticky was going to go on with Deebo, especially since, let's be real, last year we set the precedent. You have no more guarantees on your contract. You can hold on. The Niners set
Yeah.
right. We allowed it to happen last year with CMC, happened with Trent. Right. So now you set the precedent. I'm not saying the Niners were wrong. Let's be real. They were fucked for both players if both players weren't going to play. So it's a power game, leverage game. I was of the mind. Look, I love Deebo. I will forever say one of the most heartbreaking, hopefully, one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever had to go through on the football as a faithful is watching Deebo after we lost to the Yams in the NFC Championship game, and just that feeling of knowing that you literally gave every ounce of energy and spirit and fight that you gave, and it wasn't enough. You know, I like that forever put Deebo in a special place in my heart. I think that's when a lot of faithful fell in love with Deebo.
Yeah.
Fell
I
in
mean,
love with Deebo.
that's when you really saw what his potential was at its best. If he wants to just buckle down and just be an absolute terror, we get that Deebo again. It's just that we can't count on that Deebo consistently, and that also I think that's partially because of the way he plays. Um, I'm not going to say that he's not dedicated, but there's a part of him that's chilled, if you will. So, but yeah, I mean that's when the whole wide back thing took off. That's when his name brand started taking off, and maybe just maybe some of it went to his head a little bit. I'm not going to say that for sure, but when you literally are the poster child for the NFL for the final 4 weeks plus the playoffs, when
Yeah,
everything was
yeah.
Deebo, 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 yeah, it probably goes to your head a little bit.
And let's be real. I've heard Deebo's a humble dude, autograph signings and everything. He'll shake your hand. Miss Veronica swears by him.
Yeah,
And how he took her teddy bear and all that type of stuff and everything like that. But what? Honestly, I bet you Deebo's kind of a dick.
you can be
Deebo's
both things. Both things can be true.
I think Deebo's the type of person, like, perfect example. I knew somebody one time that they had this project with somebody in school and everything like that. And somebody like was telling their mom, like, yeah, I'm going to go with my friend and we're going to do, and he looked at him, he goes, I'm not your friend, bro. I'm your classmate.
Hmm?
Right. And it's like, damn, bro, calm down a little bit. And everybody, he was just straight up blunt. Like, I'm not your friend. I'm your classmate.
Yeah, we're not friends.
And
We're
that's,
coworkers.
yeah, and that's kind of the person I think Deebo would be. Like, I remember there was just one kid in school. He was a popular kid. Everybody knew his name. And I was like, walked by him one time, or I was walking up to him one time, and I was like, hey, what's up? I forget his name, so and so. And he looked at me, goes, do I know you? And I was like, well, fuck you too, then. Walked off, right? And so that's kind of like Deebo kind of struck me as a no new friends type, I guess would be a better way to describe it. No new friends. You ain't, you weren't shooting in the gym with me and everything. What's shocking about this is the Niners are entertaining.
Why not?
Because for those who were somehow buried underneath a rock, because apparently this is all we took over Super Bowl Sunday, weren't even in the bitch, and somehow we were all anybody could talk about Super Bowl Sunday.
Up until game time, everybody was talking about 49ers. I was like, ain't this some shit?
Look, this has to be done. This has to be done on purpose, Jason. Like, this has to be. I don't know if it's going to Jed. I don't know if it's Kyle. It's in the contract once you sign the contract.
Yeah, I mean, you get content because you busted your ass for so long. Now you got that big payday. I get the mentality. I get it.
I mean, it's somewhat. I think that a lot of people tend to forget these people are human.
Got Rob D in the house. How's it, my dude? Thank you for coming in.
What's up, Rob? Um, they're human. Yeah, they all probably have a lot of egos, and everybody walking around you telling you, you're God and
You're the
everything
shit.
like that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the BA situation like that was people were feeding him in his head. Wasn't it his brother that was going on social talking all that shit? BA's brother?
His wife. I think his
Or
wife
it was his
saying,
wife, my bad. It was his wife or his brother. But so who do you think's pumping him and you're the greatest and you deserve 35 million and you're the and all that? Yeah.
I
Probably
think
goes through your head
BA
a
was the
little bit.
first one where we saw where I'm almost convinced it necessarily wasn't BA. It was the people behind BA telling him to do that stuff. You know what I mean? Whereas everybody else, it was just them kind of being, because the BA situation was overly dramatic when it really didn't need it.
Yeah.
Especially afterwards when he was like, "Oh, my bad. I guess I didn't have to do all that." I think it finally hit him in the head like, "Oh shit, all this could have been settled, months ago."
I mean, it goes to the fact that literally he signed the contract that the Niners had on the table. Was it like 2-3 weeks? That ended
At
up
least,
basically being the same contract that the Niners had last given to him, and he just basically was like, "I'm not going to sign for 3 weeks." And so what? The Niners put his feet to the fire and said, "Okay, bro, enough of this holdout shit. You're healthy and everything like that. Show up, or we will start finding you."
Yeah.
And that was basically like. I would take that's Kyle and John basically saying, "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness, or don't make me do my job. Like I'm the cool coach, I'm the one that wears Yeezys and all that, but don't make me do my job.
I'm the cool parent, but don't make me switch.
Yeah, don't make me, yeah. Or my
don't
mom,
make
my
me get
mom's
the belt
famous.
out.
My mom's famous saying was, "I'm your parent. I'm your parent, not your friend." Know. I used to tell my daughter all the time, "I'm not your friend, Jasmine. I'm friendly. I'm friendly to you, but I am not your friend. I am your father."
Yeah.
I used to say that to my daughter all the time. So I'm not. So this is where we stand, and then I know you're a lot better with the contract stuff and everything, Jason, and everything like that.
Not on this one. This one is a little crazy with how much money we save and all that.
Yeah, but for what I've understood, Deebo come March 22nd it's like 15 something million roster bonus he's due. So basically, probably within the first couple of days of free agency is probably when this trade's going to happen, if it's going to happen.
Yeah, if anything happens, and it's going to be quick because most of those initial free agent stuff deals, we have tampering that begins on Tuesday or whatever it is.
Yeah,
most of those deals are going to be done. Yeah, it's going to be done before actual free agency is signed. The only thing you can't do is just sign it. So it's going to happen very, very quickly when it does. It's going to be bam, bam, bam. If Deebo goes, it'll be before, what would you say, the 15th or what it was? It'll
22nd.
probably be on the 22nd. Yeah, it'll be really quick. Like within 2 days, I bet.
I'm going to pull up the calendar you have. You really want to know when I think this trade is going. It's not going to be executed till the first day of free agency or whatever like that, but you really want to know when this trade is going to get hashed out between February 21st and March 1st at the combine. That's what I was looking up is when the combine was. That's when you're going to, because when was the D Ford trade agreed to? During the combine.
Yeah.
This is what I'd be very curious about is if Kyle shows up. Because Kyle's basically made it very clear. I ain't showing up to this shit.
Yeah.
What? I think it's been 3 years since he showed up to the combine. I believe like 2022 was the last time he showed up to the combine. So I'd be curious with
So yeah, the legal tampering starts on the 10th at 10 a.m.
The 10th. Okay.
But I can guarantee you, so that stuff is probably going to start on the 7th or the 8th because the combine ends on the Monday before, and then that Tuesday is the end of the franchise transitional designations. I don't know why that was so word. So I guarantee you that those guys are going to be working probably from the 4th up until the 10th, already talking. They just can't legally do it, but you can be like, hey man, go tell your homeboy who knows this homeboy, and they're so like I said, all this shit. Legal tampering is just basically, are we cool with you in this number? Okay, cool. We'll sign it on fucking the 12th.
Yeah, fly down here. We'll have the paperwork ready for you to sign. With our big fancy pen that everybody signs their contract.
Yes, it is 100%. It is worth it. He is that damn good. Absolutely,
it is. Long term, David. I see what you're saying. Long term, no, I don't think it's what's best. Long term scenario. No, you're right. Long term, it would be to take the draft capital. You have a deep D line class. You take multiple shit. I want the Niners to take 2-3 D linemen this year.
Oh yeah, this is a good enough draft where we could still get Garrett and still take 2 or 3 linemen.
Yeah, but the Niners, to me, I know we'll never go all in. But to me, this is the year you have to go all in, because I don't ever think that the year will line up the way it does for us to win a championship this year. I don't. With the Super Bowl being at Levi, so you have the opportunity of basically once our last road game is off, you don't travel for a month.
Till the end of the season.
Yeah, till the end of the season, the last place schedule, 11th pick. Brock's cap number is never going to be lower than it is this year.
Yep.
This is before BA's big money deal start. I want to correct something. I want to make sure I correct something. I know that all offseason I've been saying priority number 1 is the Niners to extend George Kittle and Fred Warner. Fred has 2 more years on his deal. I thought this was the last year of the deal. So basically, priority number 1 next offseason is to extend Fred Warner and make him a lifelong member. The Niners are officially, Kittle said himself, the Niners are officially in contract negotiations with Kittle Corn. So let's be real. That's going to get done.
It's been
okay. I hadn't heard.
Yep, Dave. Diana Rossini also said that she had, per her stuff, that they've already begun negotiations with Brock. Didn't say how far along they were. Also, to go along with what you were saying about Fred Warner, both Fred Warner and Kittle have both said they're willing to give up money if it means getting Myles Garrett here.
This is it's just so like I've never heard because let's be real, the 2 biggest voices in the locker room, or 2 of the biggest 3, are Trent Williams, Fred Warner, and George Kittle. Those are the 3 alpha males as far as vocal leaders of the team. I wouldn't say Bosa just because Bosa's not out there like that, but
he's a quiet leader type.
Yeah, but Trent, you want to know the pulse of the Niners locker room or anything like that, you go to Trent, you go to Kittle Corn, and you go to Fred Warner. I've never heard this vocal, this yes, do it, yes, 1,000 times, yes. That's just, the more it happens, Jason, the more time it passes, I think it could happen. Now, ultimately, do I think the Niners make a trade proposal? Yes, I do. Now, basically, is it going to be enough? Do the Browns want to trade him to us? Do they want to trade him? I think they do. I just think, where are you going to come out? Yeah, we're going to trade. No, you're basically saying you're not willing to trade him. So teams think, oh, we got to blow him out of the water in order to get him to trade him.
Yeah.
So I in my opinion, and I'll let you give your thoughts on specifically Myles Garrett in a second. The only way that this doesn't happen is if it's simply like the Raiders, with Khalil Mack, when it was they're just not interested in trading with us. I think the Niners are going to pursue this. I think we will put together a respectable package. Now it's all about, does another team offer more? do Cleveland just not for some? I mean, I don't know of any funk or any issues between the Niners and the Browns. Um,
Not that I can
so
think of.
not like where Mark Davis was simply like, I'm not trading Khalil Mack to the Raiders, or to the Niners. So I think it's just going to be about we're going to put together a package and everything like that to get to who was it that said it? Who was it that said it? Sully's point. Yeah, please, Cleveland, please take a first, a fourth, Deebo, and a third next year.
I'm willing to overpay for him to an extent.
I would go ahead.
I'd give 2 first. I would have no issues giving 2 first. Do I think that's overpaying for him? Yes. Do I also think Myles Garrett is that damn good? Also a yes. I've got to figure out what's going on with the light here.
Yeah. I mean, look, if that's what it's gonna take, if Cleveland just simply,
There we go.
If Cleveland simply just says to us, look, we've got, let's say, New York offering a first and a second, and we know damn well, let's be real, New York's gonna pick higher than us next year,
Yeah.
and it's simply down to pick 32. You like how I said that? Pick 11 and pick 32 are just going to simply be what it takes versus pick 7 and pick, 34 or whatever the, Giants second round pick is and everything like that. Okay, you can start having a conversation, but I would right now, this second, agree if they said a first, number 11, a fourth rounder, Deebo, and a third next year. Shoot that shit.
That's easy. No fun. That's an easy trade for us.
Yeah,
that's an easy trade for us. But again, if you want a player of Myles Garrett's caliber, what are you willing to give up? That's too honestly. Like, I don't mind that trade, but that's easy.
And that's the problem with it.
That's trying. Like, we're looking for the easy way. Are you going to man up? And they say we want 2 first right now for Myles Garrett. Are you pulling the trigger?
You got it, bro. Like, I don't want to. I don't think the Niners
want to, but I'm giving it.
Hey, what they say, to get ass, you got to give ass, right?
To make money, you got to spend money.
Yeah.
Whatever euphemism you want to use, it all makes sense. He is that good. Just as Failua just said, he is already that proven commodity. He instantly is knocks Bosa down to he knocks Bosa down to the second best defensive lineman on this team. As good as Bosa is, he is no longer the best defensive lineman we have on this team.
No,
that's how good Myles Garrett is.
Yeah,
exactly. He's by far the better player. He puts up much better numbers. He's more consistent. Everything he does that Bosa does, he does better. So I mean, again, he's that good. You take the chance. This
I
is
think
one
the
I'm
Niners
not afraid
will do
to think.
Okay, so you and I, but what do we always say, Jason? Fuck what we say, fuck what they say, look at what they do. You think the Niners are pulling the trigger on that trade? I don't think so.
Kyle doesn't make that trade. Saleh makes that trade.
There you go. How's
go.
That? There you go.
I think that's where
there
it is. Kyle will not make that trade because Kyle's going to want to go get some cheap free agents and all that to try and fill in the holes. Mm-hmm. Saleh, now, especially now that he's seen what a top-tier defensive lineman like a Quentin Williams can do to help out, Saleh sees Saleh's voice is going to – I think Saleh's voice is a lot louder now.
Yeah, I do too.
Than what a lot of people think it is. He's coming back with a little bit more – when he left, you would almost say, he was the lieutenant. He's been the general now. He still commands – people still want him to lead. His voice has grown. He's grown, as a coach, as a man, all that kind of stuff. He's going to voice this shit. He's going to look, Kyle, you want me to run this defense. You want me to do it like this or whatever kind of thing. I need Myles Garrett.
Hey, we talk about that. We were just talking, and we'll finish the Deebos discussion, but we were just talking about, Deebo's lack of leverage.
Yeah.
Right? Either the coaches have it, players have it, organizations have it. Robert Saleh has the leverage with the Niners because even if Kyle was going to fire him today, I doubt Robert Saleh gets on a plane to Michigan or wherever the hell he's living in the offseason before his phone's blowing up with interviews. Well, maybe not this late into the hiring process.
See, I'm disagreeing with you, Steve-O. I think if Saleh would be in the back seat, if he came back crawling, we had one plan. If Saleh said no to us, we're fucked. Brandon Staley.
We were fucked.
Brandon Staley is not now who looks like he's going to be the defensive coordinator for the Saints. He's our defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Saleh has more sway than everybody's talking about. I mean, we literally put everything in the basket for him.
I fully agree to you. So with this situation, I thought he was either going to hold out, pull a CMC Trent, last year, or I thought he was going to, play out the year and get, depending on scenarios, Ricky Pearsall shows a great improvement year 2. BA comes back healthier and better than people see, which even if BA's ready by the regular season, I'm not buying on BA next year. If I have BA stock, I'm selling or I'm holding at the very least because we already see what happened with you already seen what happened with BA with no training camp. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why he was. There's so much unknown with BA.
Yeah. So, and this is another reason why it kind of shocked me because the Niners are putting, especially for a team that's used the most draft capital and salary capital on wide receivers in the NFL. A lot of our receiving core is kind of a hope and a dream, Jason. It's, it's kind of a hope, dream, and some promise. So Ricky Pearsall, we're going to ignore and look, we understand anybody who's watched the show, how much me and Jason gush over Ricky, especially me. Gator bait, baby. But we're going to ignore the little dip that Ricky, middle of the year, and we're only going to look at the last promise, and I'm betting comes back healthy. We were just talking about what happens to players after they get their big contract. It's a lot of hope and a prayer. So ultimately, do I think Deebo gets traded? No, because I don't think anybody's going to give us anything for him.
I don't think they're going to give us what we want for him.
Yeah.
What's he worth? Probably a 5th, 4th. What do we want for him? Probably a 3rd.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think the Niners' ideal plan is the Niners would absolutely love to trade Deebo to Cleveland for Myles, and not straight up for Myles Garrett, but including a package.
It's some sort of a deal, yeah.
Yeah, a package deal. They would absolutely love to trade Deebo to Cleveland. What do I think mostly is the most likely scenario? I think the Niners would love to trade him to like New York.
I saw something something about Denver. I saw just a glimpse of it as I was scrolling through. I didn't read the whole thing. But.
You actually want to know who I could see? Now they won't give us my 3 teams. You said TJ, what are your 3 teams to watch? Baltimore, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh for Deebo. So
if he wants nightlife, he sure as hell ain't going to
Pittsburgh. Those are my 3 teams that might not have much of a choice. Because the only leverage Deebo has is saying, I won't sign an extension for you.
Yeah.
And if you have a team that says we're willing to let Deebo walk out of here and get that get a comp pick for him next year, Buffalo, is Buffalo going to want to give him extension? Probably not. But would Buffalo love Deebo? On them cold nights when it's 4 feet of snow and everything like that, and you got Deebo coming out of the backfield. I bet you. Would Baltimore love Deebo?
Probably Baltimore.
I bet you both. Could you imagine running a jet sweep with Deebo and Lamar Jackson? I mean, not jet sweep. Why can't I think of the name of it?
Josh Allen?
No, the play we used to run with Cap all the time. The fake running play.
The RPO?
No, I can't think of it right now. It's whether either the quarterback keeps it or he can pitch it.
The option, RPO.
Okay, maybe it's RPO. Anyway, no, I could have swore it was something else. Anyway, well, whatever.
Option, RPO, all the same thing. Where they go out to the side and he either tucks it and runs or he kind of flicks it out.
Anyway,
option.
RPO. Okay, maybe I'm tripping.
Option.
Maybe I'm tripping. But anyway, I just couldn't think of the. Damn, I couldn't think of the name of the play.
It's
anyway,
either RPO or option. It's the two only thing for that kind of play.
Yeah. Anyway, so there are teams out there that would love Deebo. Houston. That would love Deebo. Houston, Washington.
Oh yeah, Washington for sure.
I would love to have him, but we're not trading him to Detroit. But yeah, Houston, Miami. How much do McDaniels love him?
Yeah,
how much do McDaniels love him?
Especially if they get rid of Tyreek.
Yeah, especially if they get rid of Tyreek. So I think ultimately what's going to happen is what the Niners want is the realistic option is to use the pick we get for Deebo in a package for Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, I don't. I ultimately think he's probably ends up being a. I think he ends up being a post. You think this is all just contract negotiations?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure you were going for a post June 1st cut.
Yeah.
Or he's here next year. I think those are the two most likely options. Financially, those are the most viable ones.
I think ultimately that was going to happen because the Niners aren't going to get what they want for Deebo. The Niners aren't letting Deebo walk for a 5th round pick, a 6th round pick, a 7th round pick. Maybe if it's a 5th, conditional 3rd. But what did I say when we were in the green room, Jason? I said, to me, what we do with Deebo says, are we looking about what's best for 2025 or are we looking for what's best in 2026? Because there is absolutely no way you trade Deebo Samuel post-draft 25-5 49ers get better from it. I'm sorry. I just don't see that scenario.
Get released from the Jets? Not that I know of.
Not that I'm aware of as of right now. See, everybody wants Devontae. I'll say this. I'll say this. On paper, fuck yeah, you want. But if shit starts to get hairy, now mind you, 2 dysfunctional organizations. I'll give Devontae credit.
Yet.
I this could definitely be because what if we said, I mean, look, you know me, I keep it 100 with y'all. I'm very Bill Walsh. It's better to get rid of a player a year early than a year late. Last year was a year late to get rid of Deebo. Now, contract-wise and everything, I understand why we couldn't. But I think it's very clear that the year early would have been last year for Deebo.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a year late. The ultimate problem is, and if we don't win a championship, probably one of the things I'll circle back to the most is that Kyle doesn't want to get rid of Deebo.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I bet you, in all intents and purposes, Deebo would have been traded already if it wasn't for Kyle. If John Lynch was truly the general manager and truly the one in charge of this football team, Deebo would have been traded. The reason Deebo's still on this roster, hell, the reason Deebo might have even signed his extension is Kyle. The reason Trent Williams is on this roster is Kyle.
Adams has gotten a shit luck lately.
Look, and that's why I said, shit. I'll give him credit because the Raiders and the Jets are dysfunctional organizations. But you know what? Shit turned weird. 2 stops in a row, bro. 2 stops in a row. And so, are there receivers out there that I would rather get than Devontae Adams, both for production on the field and locker room situation? Yeah, give me T. Higgins. That's who I want. And that's who I want. I know it's not happening, but that's what I'm saying. That's who I want. Or even isn't I think it's Bird, the third receiver from Cleveland.
Amari Cooper?
Isn't he? No, it's not Amari Cooper. Not Cleveland. Sorry, Cincinnati. It's Boyd, right? Boyd. There you go, Boyd.
Oh yeah, Tyler Boyd.
I could kind of see a little something like that, bruh. You know, I don't think we're gonna get an alpha superstar, $30 million a year fucking receiver. I look at a Tyler Boyd. I look at a Tyler Boyd as somebody who the Niners are leaking into and everything like that. So this is, do I think Deebo gets traded? No. Because I think this is like David said, you know, how he did truth is, why take the cap hit when I want to just see what we're done with. What I think is going to happen, what I think happened is I think they did the Eric Armstead with Deebo. I think they asked him to take a pay cut. You know, and I think this is going to be, I think this probably plays out the way it did when Deebo demanded his trade last time. He went out there with all that in a bag of chips. You know, it's kind of like we said to BA last year, right? We told BA, you want the most money. We have a trade in place for the number, what would have been the number 33rd overall pick. That would have looked real nice giving it to Myles Garrett, Jason, for Myles Garrett. You know, we would have had the 33rd overall pick and Amari Cooper. Shoot that shit. You want?
I wanted it desperately last year. I was dying for that.
I would have took that. It would have sucked. It would have hurt to lose BA and everything like that. But yeah, I would have been like, cool, and said we just simply didn't meet his contract demands, right? Players for nothing. I think Amari Cooper, you get a receiver in round 2 this year, or use it in the package to trade up, or I think that would have probably been the best outcome for the Niners, besides signing BA, which, you know, everybody's bitching about BA's contract. So ultimately, ultimately, Jason, I think if gun to my head, I think I'm with you. I think he's a post one cut. Now they just I think he'll basically be like Javon Hargrave. They'll release him with the post June 1st day. The cuts be free to go negotiate with other teams or whatever, or they sign him for a 1-year extension or 2-year extension. He goes, Kyle refuses to get rid of his guys. Kyle is not Bill Walsh.
I'd pay him as a top special teams player as a return man.
Shoot it. Yeah, but they're gonna take the $20 million next year because they're going to say the cap is rising.
Yeah, the cap, because it's going to rise. It's
Yeah,
going
it's
to
going to
skyrocket here any
So-
day now.
Yeah. So I ultimately think that's what happens. I think he either signs an extension or he signs an extension. Maybe. I highly doubt that Deebo will play because Deebo's not going to want to play out the last year of his contract because he's obviously going to want some type of security beyond this year. So ultimately, I think Deebo's either traded post or extension or a post June 1 cut, which it's kind of sad. Like I hate to say this because the player, I love Deebo. That spin move that he put on the Sheekhawks his rookie year,
We all love the thought of Deebo, but
like
it's just not.
The 3 touchdowns in Philadelphia, one of the non-championship plays in franchise history was we get the pick in Dallas. Deebo looks up to Kyle and says, "Kyle, I got your back. Give me the ball."
And they give him the
Literally
ball.
scores the next play. Yep. But it's just not that player anymore, bro. It's just not that. Like, I know listening to these shows, shows that y'all, I know I'll take it to Kung Fu Panda, right? Pablo Sandoval, World Series hero. Only him and Babe Ruth have hit 3 home runs in the same game in the World Series, right? I'll never forget 2014. It was Pablo that caught the last out in the to win us our last World Series, and Kung Fu Panda and all that. But it was time. It was time. Broke my heart seeing him go to Boston. But it was time. So anyway, real quick, thoughts on the Super Bowl, Jason, and then we'll get up out of here.
Say Drake.
Say Drake. I said you like him, yeah. You gotta not go. Oh look, God, bro, the man like.
Look, it's cool, but all I know is that the Kansas City Chiefs got their ass whooped, but ain't nothing like the ass whooping that Drake took.
He literally had all of the Superdome saying, and it's probably a minor. Like you had basically all of America calling you a fucking choke.
You had like upwards of probably 1 billion people around the world saying that at one point.
Oh man, that was.
That's cool that the Eagles won. Fuck the Eagles, as long as the Chiefs didn't three-peat, but fuck the Eagles still. Honestly, I don't remember a single good commercial. Honestly, just other like I said, my whole thing with the Super Bowl this year was the whole Kendrick Lamar thing. That's like literally when I got up Monday morning. I spent an hour and a half on TikTok just watching people's reactions to that whole shit. What about Kelsey's? What Kelsey's ex celebrating with the Eagles? Just let him go already. Serena, dude. The Serena being on stage, crib walking was just everything. Like people do not understand what that fucking performance said. That was an F you to Trump, F you to the government, F you to Drake, everything. Everything about that. Everybody's like, oh, it's so boring. He didn't do nothing. I'm like, that's because you guys have absolutely no idea how to interpret shit.
I have my boy Jeremy. Big shout out to my boy Jeremy. I actually enjoy our football conversations, our basketball conversations. We're actually supposed to get. Oh fuck! I actually forgot to hit him up about that. But when I get my schedule next week, he was like, "Hey, bro, let me take you to coffee, my treat." Like, my boy Jeremy. He is the only person I have literally met that thinks that Drake won the rap battle, right? And I said
he might have but
no,
until Sunday maybe.
Like no, he did it, bro. He did it. Like Kendrick, like yeah. Anyway, I looked at him. I said, "See, bruh, the reason why, and this is not meant as an insult towards him. I said the reason you think Drake won the rap battle is because you don't get Kendrick's metaphorical raps. They go over your head,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't get the Easter eggs, and you don't get the everything like that." I was like, and see, like, and I'm talking
Tommy, are
about
you a
Kendrick
Drake stan? Tommy's a Drake stan over here.
What? Are you sitting? Not like us, the worst song ever written.
I don't know. I think the worst rap song ever written is anything Tom McDonald writes. He's the white rapper guy that tries to go after Eminem. And he's got the braids and the tattoos, and he's a Canadian trying to be a American
fucking
rapper
Canadian.
politic. He's a jackass, dude. Shut the fuck up and go back to Canada.
Anyway, so my thoughts from the Super Bowl, and this is almost kind of why I'm almost lightweight glad the Eagles won, is the sense is I think the Niners could be this year's Eagles. I think that everybody's going to use this as a reference. I think the Niners can turn into this year's Eagles.
Yeah, because Sirianni damn near got run out of Philly last year.
Out of Philly.
There was lots of talk of whether or not he was even going to be the coach going into this season.
Jason,
and they turned the shit around.
We broke their fucking spirit.
Yeah,
like look. I remember one of the NFL groups I'm on it was like a piss off Eagles fans in like 3 words or whatever, right? And I was my words were we ended your, or it was 4 words. We ended your season. And it was, and I sent a gif of Deebo doing the, after he scored his third touchdown, waving by. Like, we broke their soul, right? Like, we crushed their spirit. And to give them credit, they had a rubber ass and they bounced back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was very, very, very similar to us.
You know why they bounced back? Look at all the things they did around their lines. Both sides of it. Both sides of those lines are fucking incredible right now.
And key number 2, like I said, I hadn't watched the Super Bowl, but listening to Lombardi, listening to some people whose football opinion I trust. The Eagles did not blitz at once during the Super Bowl.
They blitzed twice.
Twice. Okay. Then Lombardi's wrong about his facts then. But okay.
They blitzed twice.
So they blitzed twice. So they basically won that game from what I heard of their D line. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how's Robert Saleh going to want to win with our front 4 playing zone underneath?
Yep.
And you saw it, and I think that because seem to forget, especially with Super Bowl 54.
Fuck Sirianni's emotional support fat ass.
Fucking. Bro, I swear to
God. That's what I call Dom.
Yeah.
Dom is Sirianni's emotional support fat guy. That's all he is to me.
Seriously. Fucking, I could not believe that fucking Drake got kicked out over that shit. Like, anyway. So, anyway. It was, the Chiefs, a lot of the, so you go back to Super Bowl 54. A lot of it looked like the game on Sunday. The only offense be able to put up that many points, so we didn't blow them out. And you let Patrick Mahomes hang around long enough. Bada bing, bada boom. Right? Kyle's biggest Achilles, blowing leads. Especially a 10-point lead. So go back to, and you know what? We can officially say this now. Dre does not get hurt. I'm not going to say we blew him out just because, the offense did have its struggles last Super Bowl. But the way that the Chiefs looked like on Sunday, from the highlights and stuff I watched, looked awfully like the fucking Chiefs looked last Super Bowl before Dre Greenlaw got hurt, brother. Like, that shit kind of started looking. It kind of made me pained a little bit because I was just like,
as you had said earlier, The difference in the Super Bowls was the fact that the offense of the Eagles was able to capitalize,
Yep.
where last year the 49ers didn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's that simple.
I'll never forget. Right after they scored that touchdown, right after the muff punt.
David, why do you want to watch Dom do the Super Bowl shuffle is my question.
You got some help. You all right? Like, man,
why do you want to watch that, Dave?
Yeah, why do you want to watch that, bro? I'm concerned about you. You know what, Dave? Hit me up on Facebook, bro. I'm reaching out to you as a friend, bro. Anyway, exactly, Jason. Exactly. The offense, the Nine Bowl is the offense we watched majority of last year. We fucking mopped the floor with them. And that's what pissed me off. The actually most pissed I got at last year's Super Bowl was right after that touchdown, because I remember throwing. They cut to Kyle, right? Or Kyle was seen on, and I threw something at the TV, and I said, "You let him right back in the fucking game," and I knew it. I knew the second that we weren't up 21 points, 17 points, like we should have been. And that touchdown, I said, "This is how you lose Super Bowls." No, he's not the GOAT. But Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. I would take him on the Niners in a fucking heartbeat, bro.
And Patrick Mahomes is at his best when?
You know what?
Fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, there's arguably not a better quarter. Or I mean, he's probably top 5 all time already as a fourth quarter quarterback to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's easily
He had one
category.
Super Bowl comeback. You even point to Joe. Joe only had that was my argument for Joe versus Brady. Was a lot of people, I think it was something, I wrote an article about it one time. I think it was like Joe Super Bowls, the Niners average of victory was like 19 point average. Now, when you blow a team out 55-10, that actually ended up bringing up that point too. And I think it was still 13 points on average that Joe won his Super Bowls by. So yeah, no. You basically you got 2 fourth quarter comebacks against us in the Super Bowl, so yeah. So you everybody always asks me, who would you trade? My ultimate trade, whatever it takes person, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Jason, I've stood on my mountain of I'm not trading the core. I'm not trading Kittle. I'm not trading Warner. I'm not trading Bosa, and I'm not trading Brock. I would let not all 4 of them, but I would definitely let any player on our roster right now. If the Chiefs called up and said, "We'll give you Patrick Mahomes for number 11 and Nick Bosa," I'm driving Nick Bosa to San Jose Medetta right now. You know what I'm saying? Love you, Nick. Always scream Bosa, and everything like that. But Patrick Mahomes is one of them. So yeah, so that's my takeaway from the Super Bowl is why not us? I easily think the Niners invest in the offensive line, invest in the defensive line, and beyond trading for Myles Garrett, because let's be real, that doesn't fix our interior line. It doesn't matter if we have Nick Bosa and Myles Garrett screaming down the edges if they can run right up the gut.
75% of our picks need to be linemen.
I'm telling you. I'm sure, and Chapman did a mock draft. I want to say it was Saturday. They literally took 4 D tackles and everything like that. I commented. I was like, immediately send that to John Lynch. This is what the draft needs to look at.
This draft is so deep in defensive linemen. You can't do that, and you're probably going to hit on 2 or 3 of them. You know what I mean? So it's that good of a defensive line draft.
That's so much numbers, but because our did so much since the let's be real, since the trade of Deebo, especially our interior has not recovered since the trade of Deebo.
We've only drafted 4 defensive linemen since 2020.
Wow.
Javon Kinlaw,
Robert
Beal, Khalil Davis, and Drake Jackson.
That's it.
That's all that we've drafted for our D line in 4 years. That is abysmal.
We literally didn't take one last year. Took
for
two
a
receivers
team
though,
that wants to
Jason.
run a defense that is specifically built up front to be dominant. You cannot do that. That's malpractice at that point. You want a defense to run this specific defense to run. You need the horses up front. You cannot skimp on drafting that position.
Yeah, that's when I actually sat down. Now that you say that, and with Chapman saying it was not draft one single D lineman, I always that we've established from 1979 till what Jeff Garcia left 2004. Jeff Garcia left. Name another team that has had, besides the Whack. I'll give the Whackers can make an argument for that, with Favre and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at, and I'm not talking about Steve and Joe, I'm talking about Steve Bono. I'm talking about Elvis Gerbach. The amount of depth that the Niners had at the quarterback in the quarterback room in the 80s and 90s, probably unrivaled in NFL history. Well, you want to know how the Niners did that, right? They took a quarterback every fucking year in the draft.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, Jason. I don't understand by when John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, all they talk about, the whole reason this relationship started because they believe in building a football team the same way. You start up front with the D-line. Told us TJ wants Kinlaw 2.0. Yeah.
Actually, I do. Give me a Kinlaw that's actually healthy.
Don't get me started on that.
You give me someone as strong as Kinlaw. Yeah, you give me someone with the size and strength of Kinlaw that's actually healthy. Hell yeah, I'd take that. Practice Kinlaw and what he is physically. He's a beast. He just couldn't stay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think that's what it is. Get ready. It might be Kinlaw 2.0. Matter of fact, I think that's what we'll do. I think that's what McFlinchy 2.0 in the first.
Look, y'all you know what? Y'all keep knocking McGlinchey, but there's a reason why McGlinchey gets paid. He is getting paid. Yes, he sucks as a pass blocker, but he is easily a top 5 run blocker in the NFL.
And what were we, Jason? What were we when we dropped a running football team? Thank you.
Give me that. Give me McGlinchey back right now. I'll take. And then when we start running the ball again, hell yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, you give me McGlinchey, who by the and I look, I'm y'all know me. I don't watch other teams, but I will say this: I think of a lot of times as people become so hyper focused on the Niners, they don't realize that there are a ton of teams in the NFL who have situations way worse than us. How the fuck you think Mike McGlinchey got the money that he got? Right? So, pray that the Niners do not rue the day that we had a right tackle that you knew we could, and that was going to play games. What have I always said on the show, Jason? Coaches will take a player with a little less talent as long as they know what they're going to get. Coaches want to know what they want to get because they believe they can coach and they can scheme around a player's weaknesses. So yes,
Tommy, I'll just say this: I've seen Trent get blown out quite a bit of times. So I mean, it happens to every offensive lineman. Everyone.
Not a top 10 pick. Okay, no, sure. Should we took? Okay, fine. Should we have traded down and took him at 15 or whatever? Fine.
15
okay,
to 20, yeah.
Okay, cool, fine. Okay, I'll agree with that. But anyway, no. So, but I won't take the we're not acting like he's fucking Trent Williams 2.0 or whatever like that. But people act like he was a fucking turnstile. Anyway, yes, I think the Niners give the 2020 this next year, this season, whatever you want to say. version of the Eagles. I really do. And I point about bringing up the Joe Montana thing, and we'll wrap it up after this. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have screamed ad nauseum, build a football team in the trenches, in the defensive trenches, right? So how the fuck do you not just every draft? I do not get that. And it makes more sense than taking a quarterback every draft because there can only be one quarterback on the
There's only one spot for him.
You can put 5 D linemen, you can put 5 D linemen on the fucking field, bruh. I do not understand. Philosophy. And we're not saying first round every year or second round, somewhere around the draft, you take a flyer on a defensive
line. Like I said,
for that all day, every day.
You went away from your number one MO. We want to build in the trenches. Well, we're just well, you know what we're gonna do? Not draft picks in the trenches. Yeah, let's draft the receiver number one when we had huge holes to fill on the offensive line.
Quarterback. Which argument? I'll give them credit. I could see why they wanted to draft the quarterback. But yeah, so this will definitely. You know what I want to do at some point, maybe the week before or two free agency starts, Jason. I want to start going through and players that were linked to get Robert. Kind of see the players that could come in here. You know, Saleh could bring over from the Jets. Gus Bradley bring all the stuff. I want to go through and kind of look at some of those.
Deebo.
All day, every day, bruh. You don't know how fucking crazy streaking down the street.
It's not going to happen.
It's not.
It's not going to happen with this part. I honestly, as much as we all miss Deebo and all that kind of stuff, I'd rather take a draft pick high than bring him back, honestly.
That's the smart thing to do. But Deebo still hurts. So anyway, all right, y'all. Real quick. Gus Bradley, fuck yeah, right? Like we're all on board.
Oh yeah. I don't want to hear anybody say Jed doesn't spend money on this team. The amount of money he's had to pay to Saleh, Gus Bradley is not coming cheap at all. You're talking about someone who's a top-tier coordinator and been a head coach. Possibility of getting D'Angelo Hall in here too. This defensive fucking coaching room is going to be fucking stacked come next season. Don't say Jed isn't willing to spend money anymore. I don't want to hear that bullshit from anybody.
So Larry Krueger always says, what would what would Bill do, right? Or what WWED.
What would Eddie do?
Right? What would Eddie do? And looking for an advantage, right? And the one thing I think Eddie D would do is spend on coaching staff, because that's the one thing that you can pay your staff whatever.
You can hire every damn head coach or whatever coach in the United States together.
Yeah, and he also said that about Deebo when we saw how that went.
Yeah, I mean, there's salt. Take a big grain with that.
Yeah, right. So I mean, what's he supposed to say? Yeah, we're trading the nigga. So
what's TJ saying, Kenny?
I'm with you, Jason.
Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do.
Fuck what we say. Fuck what they say. Look at what they do. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just as critical as Jed as anybody else. But y'all know me on the show. If I'm quick to criticize somebody, I try to be just as quick to give them praise. I mean, big props to Jed, because like you said, these coaches ain't coming. Robert Saleh is the highest paid defensive coordinator in the NFL.
And depending on how much Chip Kelly's getting paid, he may be the highest. So it's either him or Chip Kelly, and it's got to be pretty close. They're probably within $1 million of each other. He's giving out big ass contracts consistently to some of these players.
There is literally, since 2018, we've given out one big deal a year. Since 2018.
We made Jimmy the highest paid quarterback at one point.
Yeah, paid quarterback. 2020 was Kittlecorn. 21 was Fred Warner. 22 was Deebo. 23 was Bosa.
CMC.
And then
Okay, it was Bosa.
Yeah, Bosa. And then last year was BA. And this year, all right, y'all. Final thoughts, Jason?
Let's get Myles Garrett. Fuck the Super Bowl. They ain't like us. Yeah, it's like I said. There's never a bowl. Like every year we're like, you know what? It's gonna be a quiet off season. I'm just never gonna say that shit again.
Never. I swear the Niners must do this on purpose, bruh, because we are the most. Us and the Cry Girls are the most talked about teams in the NFL. Like seriously, we really legitly are. All right, brother. Well, we'll see you on. We'll see you next week, bruh.
Yep. See you guys Friday. 5 for Tag Lava. One love.
Yay. All right. Sticking with us today. But we had a lot to talk about. That Deebo scenario is going to be crazy. Never a dull moment when you cover the San Francisco 49ers. Let me tell you about it. All right, y'all. Well, I'll go ahead and I will see y'all next Tuesday. Make sure to drink goat fuel. Please help out the show. Till next week. Faith, love, and happiness.